Midnight Drearies.
Where am I? Sierra wondered aloud. Thinking it was a dream, she smacked her arm several times. The pain she felt was very real, but she still couldn't wrap her mind around this unbelievable place. She stood in the middle of a black and white chessboard which seemed to be hovering in space. She could make out an opposing ledge and wall, but the leap across the cavernous void was impossible. Several of the spaces in one corner of the chessboard were low-raised square columns. Sierra was dressed in an all-white Victorian outfit with lace-up high boots and a strange helmet that was pointy on top. "You are a pawn," said a disembodied voice that slightly echoed through the black abyss. "I am no one's pawn," Sierra replied. "If you would allow me to finish, that is exactly why you have been chosen," a hint of humor in the voice, "not to be led, but to be trained. When we are done, you will move from being a pawn to being a knight." "What is this place?" Sierra asked. "It is a protected pocket dimension outside of trad space." Sierra queried, "Trad space? What is trad space?" The voice replied, "It refers to your traditional reality in time and 3 dimensions. Quite literally, we are nowhere. At least in regard to the world as you know it. 3 dimensions are so boring. How did I get here? When humans sleep, you connect to the universe. When this portal in your mind opens to the dreamlands, it allows us to slip in, but it also allows the bad things to get in. That is why your generation is in such turmoil." Sierra replied, "So I can just wake up. This is all a dream." Becoming a little irate at the thought of having her mind violated. Nothing is quite that simple, as you will discover. To put it bluntly, if not megalomaniacally, you are better than everyone else. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, "We're all made of stars." That's true, you just happen to have a little extra cosmic dust. And when we are done with you, you will be able to do things beyond human comprehension. What your kind calls magic is nothing more than higher physics. You are all capable of it, but few ever even discover it, yet alone master it. When you are done, you will be a white rabbit. Sierra pondered the information. "So you're going to pull me out of a hat? Why would I want to go along with this madness?" Once again, the invisible speaker replied, "But madness is the point. Chaos and madness, to be specific. There are forces outside of space and time that are using your planet as their own chessboard, playing a deadly game to satisfy their unknowable whims. Pawns that move and kill on behest of gods and madmen. We are the Order of Ostra, and we have been fighting these exo-fiends for hundreds of years. It is nothing less than a struggle to save the world." Sierra responded, "Well, that's kind of hard to argue with. I guess my party girl years are over. Let's do this." From out of the corner of her eye she noticed a large armored foe in polished plate mail with blue accents who had not been there the moment before. Without hesitation it brought an iron gauntlet down atop her head. Sierra was barely able to leap aside. She thought for a moment, "I just bunny hopped out of harm's way. Are they going to turn me into an actual rabbit, like a 6'3.5" white rabbit? This goes way beyond playing furry for the weekend at Comic-Con or a late-night latex lepus in some millionaire pervert's secret sex dungeon." The voice spoke again, "In this place your abilities will manifest quicker than in trad space. The Blue Harvester will match your skill as you progress in your training." Sierra instinctively did a flip kick and knocked the metal menace off balance. "Wow! That was unexpected," Sierra said. "You weren't kidding." She began to get into the rhythm of the conflict. It seemed like hours passed, yet they were in a realm outside of time. Sensing Sierra's plateau, the armored Abaddon stopped, turned, and walked off the chessboard into the darkness below. Suddenly, it was the next morning and Sierra was back in her bed. But she would return, night after night, continuing her training. She finally had a purpose. Something to fight for. Saving the planet seemed a bit more important than arguing with idiots on social media.